Before we start, I want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Learn and Succeed. Here are 10 Gary Vee moments that proved he could predict the future. A small hint of the despised pandemic. The next economic recession. No one knows the exact date, but I can tell you this for sure. The economy is going to collapse, Gary Vee disclosed. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but we're not going to live the rest of our lives in an abolished market. I don't know how long the economy is going to be artificially held up, but at some point, it's going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. Guess what? The widespread COVID-19 brings down the paramountcy of the company, forcing them to shut down, an appalling fall in stock marketing. Snapchat fever. Gary may have recognized the empathic features of our cutesy Snapchat application with its alluring filters and vanishing messages that come in handy for troublemaking teens. Who knew Snapchat would go on to make a name for itself, appealing to every age group? Snapchat has since dominated the social media world, holding much more content in itself. Gary delved deeper and appraised the rising demand for social networking. Surprisingly, in 2013, Snapchat won the Best Mobile App Award at Crunchies, and till today, the application is loved by many of its users and celebrities. Instagram campaigns. While his 20-year career largely consists of guesswork, Gary Vee pours more into data collected than the spur-of-the-moment thought that may lead to the world's most used application or possible bankruptcy. He invested in campaign for Instagram by selling brisk iced tea at VaynerMedia. Instagram is a cherished social media amongst youngsters and businessmen alike to establish their platform and bring their audience closer to their products for a fresh way to boost stocks. A gradual decrease in sales. When customers flood the market, the value of the product increases to balance the stock. Otherwise, the case becomes quite sour, and the dark times of the business lead to entrepreneurs hesitant to face it. When Gary declared that the general sales will henceforth descend to a lower level, a ripple of tension reverberated through the world markets. He was not wrong. If the sales are plausible to last long, people tend not to put their money in, impeding the decrease of sales and the colossal black hole left behind. Gary identified this. Even so, it brings a negative impact on the vendor. The BlackBerry downfall. During a session of Next Wave with Gary Vaynerchuk at the end of 2011, he foretold that the infamous BlackBerry will have its major decline in sales in the following year, to end up in a tragic case of bankruptcy, as the rising models of iPhones and Androids suited much better for the use of customers. Gary was right when the prophesied demise of BlackBerry. Once loved for the business-like look it gives, it was fated to die out as Gary predicted. Gary has an insight into the world of business, and we can surely count on his opinions on such matters. Sure enough, by the year 2016, the struggling company dwindled to later be sold and become no longer a smartphone company. Vine's table-turning rise. We all must have chuckled at a few clips from the social networking application Vine, true to its name, whereas Gary saw this software before most of us could, encouraging his office workers and employees to use the video hosting service after its release in 2013. Noticing its appeal in a few seconds of comedic clips, Gary recognized the huge potential it had, and rightfully foretold the feats it would go on to achieve. Of course, the trend caught on, and it only took a few months before it got nominated for Teen Choice Awards. Voice commands crowned winner. There have been a handful of journeys for interactive technology, yet the launch of Amazon Prime's Echo in 2014, and Gary nodded, marking it as the consumer's take of it for the best briefings, best skills, and best integration, best original content, and the best infrastructure for human interaction. This showed how Gary approved its potential, believing it would be the same for the rest of us. Twitter conquers Facebook. For 2012, Gary also punctuated that once Facebook loses its users, the stock market for Twitter will regenerate. Sales will increase because it will go IPO, which is not an abbreviation for a private company becoming public for the general subjects. Not only does Twitter stand as one of the most used social networking, but resides within are also your K-pop stars, football players, and Hollywood celebrities you can check up from time to time. Facebook in your phones. Before smartphones were a common thing, Gary waited and processed the stock numbers, the sales, the dealings. Seeing the popularity Facebook gained, Gary told how it will develop into much more than just a web page. As Facebook grew, so did its demand for accessibility. He concluded that Facebook would become mobile. As not are the odds tested in the hefty business of the world economy, it's all math and numbers. Indeed, Facebook's application launches, and the arc of technology widens to more open confrontations, demonstrating how, once again, Gary took the spotlight away. Instagram acquired by Facebook. Now after this prediction, people were seriously considering the concealed fact that Mark Zuckerberg and Gary Vaynerchuk were affiliated, for later Facebook legitimately bought Instagram for $1 billion. A bold decision to reveal this deduction, but henceforth worthwhile. The rocky edge of Facebook's market stabilized. Gary's smart tactics were now being praised by several of his admirers. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.